Takeaways from the final night of the Democratic National Convention. Vice President Kamala Harris capped one of the most extraordinary months in modern political history Thursday night with a speech that rallied Democrats around themes of patriotism and cast Donald Trump as the enemy of classic American principles. "In the enduring struggle between democracy and tyranny, I know where I stand, and I know where the United States belongs," she said. With the cadence of a courtroom prosecutor, Harris delivered on the promise many Democrats saw in her when she launched her first presidential campaign 5 years ago, and when Joe Biden chose her as his running mate in 2020. Harris went directly at her Republican rival. She laid out the former president's legal troubles. She blamed him for the horrors some women have faced amid the implementation of strict state-level abortion laws. She issued a reminder of what she called the chaos and calamity when he was in office. "In many ways, Donald Trump is an unserious man," she said, "but the consequences of putting Donald Trump back in the White House are extremely serious." Harris also delved deeper into her own policy positions, particularly on foreign policy. She said she'd be a president who is realistic, practical, and has common sense. A clear rebuttal to Trump's effort to brand her as too liberal. The differences between Harris's speech in Chicago and the one Trump delivered last month at the Republican convention in Milwaukee could not have been more stark, and set the stage for the sprint to the November 5th election, with head-to-head confrontations in debates yet to come. Here are 8 takeaways from the fourth and final night of the Democratic National Convention. Harris offers a return to pre-Trump normalcy. Harris delivered a simple message to Americans: you don't have to live like this anymore. At times explicitly and always written into the subtext of her remarks, Harris offered voters a clean break from the Trump era and its grinding uncertainty and political upheaval. "We are not going back," Harris said repeatedly, as she and others, including the chanting thousands inside the United Center, have done since she became the presumptive nominee. But as much as the slogan is a rebuke of Trump's policies and a promise of progressive change, it also resonates more narrowly as an assurance for the immediate term. To not go back to even a few weeks ago, before her campaign took flight. Harris's campaign has also talked at great length about freedom, seeking to reframe issues such as reproductive rights as a question of government interference. At stake in the election, Harris said, were the freedom to live safe from gun violence in our schools, communities, and places of worship, the freedom to love who you love openly and with pride, the freedom to breathe clean air, drink clean water, and live free from the pollution that fuels the climate crisis, and the freedom that unlocks all the others, the freedom to vote. On this night, though, it was hard not to also hear the offer of freedom from the anger and divisions, both fundamental and petty, that have defined much of the past decade of American life.